career reinvention creates fear in most of my clients. So that's a fact. Fear of losing their job, losing stability, losing financial stability, being fired in the next job, or whatever you might worry about. That's why in this video, we're looking at why this fear exists in the first place and how you can deal with it. Because after more than 10 years of guiding clients through career inventions and having gone through 4 career reinventions myself, that's what really holds most of us back, the fear of career reinvention. And then we stall, we stay in jobs that really drain us and sometimes that we even hate. So stick around with me, because in this video, we're looking at all of the most important aspects and at concrete things and exercises that you can do right now to start overcoming the fear. So let's dive right into it. But actually, the fear that you're experiencing isn't real. And although that might sound confusing, hear me out. Let's look at the facts. By the way, one of the easiest solutions to overcome that fear is having people supporting you on your journey. And that's why I built the Mental Mastery Academy of other people who are also in a career reinvention that support you and help you overcome your fear, along with a lot of other stuff and exercises that will really help you, like CV shaping and so on. So if that sounds interesting, the link is right down in the description. Now, let's look at why fear exists in the first place. So fear is a biological mechanism of our body to send us an alarm signal. So now imagine 10,000 years ago when we were still collectors and hunters living in tribes, and day-to-day routine was just finding food, right? Back in the day, the only real threat there was were other tribes that could be attacking us, or animals like a tiger attacking us. And that's the exact moment when fear is really relevant. So our brain has a mechanism to see patterns like a tiger and instantly, within milliseconds, signal to us we need to either fight or flight. There are only 3 options. If we don't fight, if we don't flight, then it's be eaten by that tiger. So that's the essential mechanism behind fear. Nowadays, we really don't have those situations anymore, really rarely. So what we're experiencing as fear nowadays is actually worry. What's worry? We are worrying a lot when we are lacking information. Just like with that tiger, we are lacking the information. If we can easily deal with that situation, if we have enough resources, like a gun, a stick to fight it, whatever. So all that kind of stuff is information. And nowadays, it's the same thing. We are worrying when we do not have sufficient information. When you're career reinventing, then what's the missing information here? How much will I earn? Do I get a new job? When will I get a new job? How will my colleagues be like? Will I be in a supportive environment? How is my boss going to be? Will I like him or her or not? So all that kind of stuff is missing information that creates worry, and it's disguised as fear. So here's what you can do. Fill in the gaps. That's the very first step. Awareness. Getting aware of what it actually is that you're worried about. And writing that down. So you can do that right now. What you're worried about. Is it a lack of money, instability, not being able to take care of your kids? So whatever it might be and whatever might come up, write it down. Because then It's nothing inconcrete, vague anymore, but you know exactly what you're worrying about. And for every person watching this video, it's going to be a little bit different. The next step is to look at all those worries a bit more objectively. So, what's actually the probability of it happening? And you can rate it on a scale from 0 to 100%. For instance, not finding a job anymore. What's the probability? What do you think? Is it 0? Is it 10? Is it more in the 50% region? Or is it actually really real and it's more about 80, 90%? Then, when you have this number, the next step is to look at it and ask yourself, what can you actually do about it to decrease the likelihood? So, if one of your worries was, I'm worried about how my boss will be in the future, if I'm going to find a supportive boss, then something that you could do about it is write down and think, first of all, what kind of boss do you want? And then second step is, how can you make sure to find that kind of person? Because normally when you're in a hiring process, you'll get to know your boss, right? So when you're prepared and you actually know what kind of boss you want to have, then you can ask certain questions in order to find answers and get a feeling about how that person really ticks. Obviously, there's always a risk involved. And when you're starting that job, you'll get to know that person. But just to decrease the risk, you can intentionally lead the conversation. Another thing you can do is look at past experiences. So, in similar situations, when you were switching jobs, switching careers, what actually happened and how did you deal with those situations in the past? What did you actually do to overcome the fear already? So that's a resource you might have. Past experience and thinking about how you can reuse it, reutilize it, or just iterate it and build upon this experience. Then ask yourself, which worries did you have back in the time? And did they turn out to become reality or not? Also, very important thing to realize, really sit down, because 99% of our worries, that's not just me saying, that's actual science. 99% of those worries, they never turn reality. So the real question is, with all those worries in the past and what you have done about it to overcome them and the resources that you had, what helped you the most? Was it family? Was it a coworker, a friend? Was it talking to someone? Was it a big buffer, good financial runway that gave you stability or security? And the last thing I'd like to share with you today is to turn worry into fuel, turn worry into something positive. And a very nice way to do it is stating what if statements. What if it turned out well? So, what if I found a great job? What if I found a great boss, a great company that I really like? What if my salary just increased by 30 or 40%? What if a new job gave me more flexibility, more freedom, possibility to work remote? And then when you're formulating those what if statements, make them really concrete. So picture them in your mind. What does this positive future look like? And again, for everybody, it's going to look like a little bit different. Someone might be dreaming of working remote from a beach or just working remote to be able to care for their family, to be there, not commuting 2-3 hours a day. What does this future look like? So take your time and picture it as vividly as possible. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you believe in this future? What do you say? What do you feel? While there's a lot more that you can do to tackle the fear of career reinvention, all of these questions, all of these exercises that I just shared with you are really good start. And a lot more you'll find in the Mental Mastery Academy. The link is down below in the description. Feel free to just check it out and sign up for the waiting list for the next cohort. At this point, many of you might ask, but if that's biology, if that's been with us for more than 10,000 years now, how can I change this hidden script that's really running my life? And that's exactly what we're doing in the next video. So check it out, and I'm happy to see you there.